Hey guys, Michael here again from GuitarGate.com, and we're back to the Learn the Song series. This is a spot where you go to not necessarily learn songs note for note, but you want to get the overall harmonic, melodic, and rhythmic theme so that when you cover a song with your band or by yourself, you can get all the parts that you need to make the song what it is. Now this song, Into the Mystic by Van Morrison, is one of my all-time favorite songs, and Moondance is one of my all-time favorite records. And this weekend, my cousin is getting married, and she asked me if I would play this at her wedding. So I was playing this song, and I figured, you know what? I got to do a lesson on this. So here we go. The song is in E flat. That's where it's recorded. Now, typically, you won't see me play with the capo, but there's so many little runs in this. There's so much about this song which is about ornamentation, about suspending the third, and you're really playing around with the third, that it really makes sense if you're playing it by yourself to use a capo. And when you see me do it, you'll totally see why. But if you play in a band and you can split up all the different pieces, then by all means, scratch the capo. So here we go. The song is in E flat. So I'm putting the capo on the 3rd fret because I want to achieve this C shape. And the reason I want to achieve this C shape is because I have two main parts of the main riff, which you kind of just really have to get. The first one is that it's that, and if you listen to the record, it's being played up here. It's that. But if you're playing by yourself, that's hard to get. So when I move it to the C shape, it becomes that very easy. And all you're doing here is, there's your regular root chord, your 1 chord with your pinky. You are suspending the 4th, and then when you go back down, you are suspending to the 9 or the 2nd. Anytime you suspend something, you're suspending the 3rd. So that's all this is. It's the. Now, rhythm can be kind of tricky. You just got to really feel the pulse in this song. This is one of those songs where you do all your ornamentation when the singer is not singing, and then you kind of come back in. It's like a constant call and response back and forth. Anyhow, the other main thing that you hear in this song, in this beginning part, is the. Now, this you really hear in the bass in the track, right? Now all that is you have your 1 chord, and then that movement is a 5 to a 6 to a 1, right? So it's not a or back to a 5 rather. So it's not a suspension, it's just a. Now you can choose to get that lower part if you're playing acoustic by yourself, but if you're playing it with the band, it might make sense just to let the bass grab that, and maybe you grab it up here, put it in a different octave. And then obviously when you're coming off that suspension of the 9, right, to go back on here. So moral of the story, if you're covering this, you got to get the basic groove, that doom, 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 right? And you have to get the little piece of that bass line. And you also got to get the. And they kind of alternate. If you focus on getting those, you're going to get the main vibe. Now the only other parts to the song is it goes to the 5 chord, right? So in this case that'd be B flat. And you can use all this little all that major pentatonic stuff to try to get those melody lines, and then back to the 1, right? So that's your basic thing for the verse, right? And just remember, when the singer is singing, or when you're singing, that's what you want to do. You just want to get the chord, boom, boom, boom. You just want to be keeping that beat. But in between each of the phrases, we were born before the wind. Right? That's when you add the embellishment. Other parts, you have a cool little minor part where it goes. Now, if you have 2 guitars, what we're going to is a G minor here. And so one person would probably just play that G minor, and the other person would get this little lick, which is you're staying in this key, 3rd fret on both the 3rd and 1st strings, 5th fret on the 3rd and 1st strings, and then 7 and 6. So you're basically making a G minor little piece, an A minor little piece, and then a B flat major little piece, right? This would be 1st inversion because your 3rd is in the bass. You can stagger it like that. That's how it does it on the record. And just so you know, you're still in G minor here. This is the 5th and the minor 3rd of a G minor triad. So it's all gravy. It all works. So when you're going to that, if you just have one guitar playing in this shape, I recommend just letting the bass note ring out so you keep your bottom end. And just getting it like that. And again, if you have more parts or more pieces, do more parts. And then it goes straight to an F, what looks like an F, but this is really a flat. But it's that F position if you're thinking about the capo. And then it's back to the 1. So again, the G minor, that is a 3. It's your 3 minor chord in the key of E flat. Go into a 4, go into the 1. And again, you're going to be doing all those. And you're just going to listen for it. Listen for the space and let it float through. And then the next time, it's same opening lick. To that F. Now to the 5 chord. So if you listen to it, you'll hear a lot of runs going up when it goes to that 5 chord, that B flat major. Again, if you're playing by yourself, the first thing you want to make sure you do is get the rhythm and you get the groove. So you stay on the bass and you have all this, that major pentatonic pattern 3 shape to get all the embellishments you need. But again, if you have more pieces, do more parts. Let one person play the chord, and somebody else walk up doing double stops in that same key. Just think B flat. The last part, and my personal favorite part of this song, is the awesome horn part. So you have the verse, then it goes to the chorus, then it tags with a horn part. A tag is probably the best way to explain it, but it sounds like this. It's that. Now, if you listen to it, this is, an actual horn section, and they do some really interesting harmonies on here. But again, if you are playing by yourself, you just want to nab the basic melody line. And what this is you have your 1 chord, lift up your 1st finger, so make that E flat a D, and basically you're now playing E flat major 7. So it's E flat, adding in the major 7th, and then it does this all that is the 5 to the 6, back to the 5, hammer onto the major third, and then right behind it, get that minor third to the major third. So you got and you can vary it up a little bit. When you come off here, you can go straight to the root and then, but the whole idea is that you're embellishing around the root with the major 7th. You can play the whole chord shape, getting that 6 to the 5, and then you're finishing with the minor third to the major third. And then after you do that, it then goes to the 5 chord. And getting to the 5 chords, there's this little line too with horns. And all that is here, again, we're in the 5 chord. That's again 5 to 6, root to 2, 3 to 4, pulling off. I'm speaking in terms of the 5 chord. And then it does this very cool thing where it goes, where it turns into 5/7. And that's the only time in the song that I really hear where it makes that dominant sound, where it really, it waits till the tag to make that 5 a 5/7. And I really think this makes the tune. So coming off that, so you did this, going to the 5 chord, and then it goes, and all that is you're playing the 3rd of your 5 chord, the 9th or the 2nd, the root, and then the flat 7. And then it's back to the and then it finishes like that. And those are all the parts. Now again, you can embellish more when you want to if you have more pieces. For example, when it goes to the 5 chord, you'll hear a little bit of the up top, but you're not going to get that unless you have more pieces. But the whole point of this is that this is a laid back, very slow kind of acoustic groove that has a lot of swells, both dynamic-wise, you know, where volume kind of goes up and down a lot, and then you have that constant back and forth between the vocals and the guitar embellishments. And the embellishments are made mostly around the major third, suspending to the 4th, suspending to the 9 or the 2, and then you have those little horn parts that really tie it all together. This is just a great song. I implore all of you to try to do this song and try to do it solo and see if you can get all those parts. Because I promise if you can pull it off, you'll really feel like you accomplished something, because it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful tune. Anyhow, if you like these types of lessons, please subscribe. And as always, come join me on guitargate.com if you want to learn from me directly and be able to post videos for feedback. So come join us over there, and I'll see you in the next one.